Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that one of the healthiest fruits on earth, the blueberry, could actually turn toxic inside your body? Not because of the berry itself, but because of what you eat with it. Imagine reaching for a blueberry muffin, a yogurt, or a sugar-free smoothie, believing you're protecting your heart, your brain, and your gut, when in reality you may be fueling inflammation, feeding disease, and reversing every benefit this superfood is meant to deliver. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 common foods that silently transform blueberries from medicine into poison. And once you hear them, you'll never look at this fruit the same way again. Blueberries are often called one of the most powerful superfoods on earth, and when you look closely at what's happening inside this tiny fruit, the science is nothing short of breathtaking. Packed inside each small berry are hundreds of natural chemicals designed by nature not only to protect the fruit itself, but to interact with the human body in ways that modern research is still uncovering. Among the most important of these are anthocyanins, the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue-purple color. These anthocyanins are potent antioxidants, able to neutralize unstable molecules known as free radicals that, left unchecked, can damage cells, DNA, and tissues, accelerating aging and fueling chronic disease. Beyond antioxidants, blueberries are also rich in fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and manganese, each of which plays a critical role in maintaining good health. Fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Vitamin C supports your immune defenses and collagen formation. Vitamin K is essential for blood clotting and bone strength, and manganese is needed for metabolism and cellular energy production. But the story of blueberries doesn't stop with nutrients. What makes them extraordinary is the way they influence your biology on a deeper level. Studies have shown that when people eat blueberries regularly, blood pressure decreases, arteries become more flexible, and blood flow improves. This isn't just theory. Clinical trials have demonstrated that individuals who consume blueberries see measurable improvements in vascular function within hours of eating them. The compounds in blueberries act almost like natural medicine, triggering the release of nitric oxide in the lining of blood vessels. Nitric oxide helps vessels relax, improving circulation and reducing stress on the heart. This is why blueberries are linked to a lower risk of heart disease and stroke. Blueberries also have a powerful impact on the brain. Researchers studying older adults found that those who consumed blueberries showed slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who did not. In fact, brain scans have revealed that anthocyanins from blueberries actually cross the blood-brain barrier, where they accumulate in regions responsible for memory and learning. Once there, they reduce inflammation, improve communication between neurons, and protect brain cells from oxidative damage. Think about that for a moment. A fruit you can hold in your hand, a food that grows in the wild, is capable of entering your brain and protecting it from decline. That is a remarkable demonstration of food as medicine. The benefits extend to metabolic health as well. Blueberries have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, a key factor in preventing type 2 diabetes. When people with insulin resistance eat blueberries, their muscles become more responsive to insulin, allowing glucose to be absorbed more effectively from the bloodstream. This means less sugar circulating where it can cause harm and more energy delivered to the cells that need it. Over time, this can lower the risk of diabetes and help stabilize weight. Then there is the gut microbiome, the vast ecosystem of bacteria living inside the digestive tract. Blueberries act like a prebiotic, feeding healthy bacteria that play essential roles in digestion, immunity, and even mood regulation. The fiber and polyphenols in blueberries encourage the growth of beneficial species like Akkermansia, which has been linked to lower levels of inflammation and improved metabolic health. When the gut microbiome thrives, so does the rest of the body, because the gut communicates constantly with the immune system, the endocrine system, and even the brain. A handful of blueberries can ripple through your entire biology in ways that are profound and far-reaching. But here's where the story takes a surprising turn. Even though blueberries are among the healthiest foods you can eat, their power is not invincible. What many people don't realize is that the effect of blueberries on the body is heavily influenced by what you eat with them. Scientists call this concept food synergy. When certain foods are eaten together, their compounds can work in harmony, amplifying each other's benefits. For example, pairing tomatoes with olive oil increases the bioavailability of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. Eating turmeric with black pepper boosts the absorption of curcumin, its anti-inflammatory compound, by more than 1,000%. Blueberries, too, have powerful synergies when paired with the right foods. Combine them with oats, and you get a slow release of energy that stabilizes blood sugar while feeding your microbiome. Pair them with nuts, And the healthy fats increase the absorption of blueberry polyphenols, allowing more of them to enter your bloodstream. Eat them with dark chocolate. And the flavonols in both foods enhance vascular health in complementary ways. Yet the opposite is also true. Some food combinations can interfere with the benefits of blueberries, neutralize their antioxidants, and in some cases even create harmful effects inside the body. When this happens, the very fruit that is supposed to heal and protect can become ineffective, and in certain conditions may even promote damage. This is not because blueberries themselves are bad, but because the compounds in other foods can alter the way your body processes them. They can block absorption, disrupt your gut microbiome, or generate toxic byproducts that overwhelm the protective effects of the berry. Think of it this way. Blueberries are like a team of firefighters rushing to put out the flames of inflammation, oxidative stress, and cellular damage. But if you pair them with the wrong foods, it's like dumping gasoline on the fire. At the same time, the firefighters are trying to put it out. The firefighters are still there doing their job, but the blaze grows stronger than they can handle. The net result is harm instead of healing. This is a crucial point because so many people are eating blueberries in ways that cancel their benefits without even realizing it. They blend them into sugary smoothies, bake them into muffins loaded with refined flour and sugar, top them with artificial sweeteners, or drown them in processed cream. On the surface, these dishes look like they're delivering a dose of health. They look colorful, vibrant, and superfood rich. But when you look beneath the surface, the biochemical interactions tell a very different story. Instead of delivering healing, those combinations are quietly eroding the very health benefits you're seeking. The lesson is simple but powerful. Blueberries alone are extraordinary. They are one of the most studied and proven foods for protecting health and preventing disease. But the way you combine them with other foods determines whether they act like medicine or whether they lose their power. Understanding this difference allows you to unlock the true potential of blueberries and avoid turning them into something that harms your body rather than heals it. Ref. Added sugar is the very first culprit that takes the healing power of blueberries and flips it upside down. Blueberries are designed by nature to lower inflammation, to fight oxidative stress, and to stabilize blood sugar. But when you combine them with refined sugar, the equation changes dramatically. Let's take a common example, a blueberry muffin. On the surface, it looks wholesome. It has blueberries baked inside, it smells sweet, and you think you're getting something healthy. But look deeper. That muffin can contain more than 20 grams of added sugar. The sugar creates an immediate surge in blood glucose. When glucose floods your bloodstream too quickly, your body responds by releasing insulin, the hormone that helps shuttle sugar into your cells. But that sudden spike is damaging. It produces a wave of oxidative stress, the very problem blueberries are supposed to combat. Here's the hidden danger. When blood sugar remains high, it doesn't just sit there harmlessly. The excess sugar molecules attach themselves to proteins in your body, forming what scientists call advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs literally age your body from the inside out. They stiffen your blood vessels, weaken your skin by damaging collagen, and accelerate the decline of your organs. The anthocyanins in blueberries are busy trying to neutralize free radicals and reduce inflammation, but the onslaught of sugar overwhelms their capacity. It's like sending a single bucket of water against a roaring wildfire. Instead of being a net positive, that blueberry muffin may leave your body in a worse state than if you had eaten no blueberries at all. Think about how many times blueberries are consumed in ways that seem healthy, but are actually sabotaged by sugar. Commercial blueberry yogurts, for instance, can have more sugar than a candy bar. A typical fruit yogurt can pack up to 25 grams of sugar per serving. You eat it believing you're nourishing your gut and protecting your heart, but in reality, you're flooding your body with refined sugar that neutralizes the very benefits you're after. Even smoothies, one of the most popular health trends, can become toxic traps. Blueberries blended with fruit juices, sweetened almond milk, syrups, or honey can send the sugar content soaring. A single healthy smoothie can easily top 50 grams of sugar, more than double what the American Heart Association recommends for an entire day. Now let's go deeper into the science. When refined sugar enters your system, your pancreas rushes to release insulin to bring your blood glucose back down. But repeated surges of insulin lead your cells to become resistant. Insulin resistance is the hallmark of type 2 diabetes, and it is one of the fastest growing health crises worldwide. Blueberries on their own improve insulin sensitivity. They make your muscles more responsive to insulin, helping glucose move efficiently into the cells where it is used for energy. But add refined sugar and the opposite happens. You flood the system, overwhelm the insulin response, and push your body closer to resistance. What was supposed to be protective now becomes destructive. Sugar also fuels inflammation. It increases levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of systemic inflammation that is linked to heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even cancer. Blueberries are powerful anti-inflammatories, calming the immune system and lowering C-reactive protein. But once again, sugar flips the benefit. Instead of cooling the fire, you're pouring fuel onto it. The antioxidants in blueberries can only do so much. They cannot fight a tidal wave of inflammation triggered by high doses of refined sugar. And it doesn't stop there. Sugar feeds harmful bacteria in your gut. Your microbiome, which thrives on fiber and polyphenols from foods like blueberries, becomes imbalanced when it is exposed to excess sugar. Harmful bacteria grow, beneficial bacteria shrink, and toxic metabolites are produced. This imbalance, called dysbiosis, is linked to obesity, depression, weakened immunity, and autoimmune conditions. Blueberries are one of the best foods for restoring balance to the gut, nurturing beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and Akkermansia. But when you mix them with sugar, you tip the balance in the wrong direction. Instead of healing your microbiome, you disrupt it. Even more concerning, sugar alters the way anthocyanins are absorbed and utilized in the body. High glucose levels compete with polyphenols for transport and metabolism in the intestines and liver. This means fewer antioxidants actually reach your bloodstream. You may eat blueberries, but their compounds are less likely to circulate to your heart, your brain, and your skin where they do the most good. In essence, sugar hijacks the delivery system. It blocks the medicine from getting where it needs to go. Let's return to the image of blueberries as firefighters. They rush into your bloodstream ready to neutralize damage, protect your cells, and calm the flames of inflammation. But the moment you add refined sugar, it's as if you're releasing arsonists at the same time. The fire grows larger, the smoke grows thicker, and the firefighters can't keep up. Instead of restoring balance, you create chaos. The tragedy here is that so many people genuinely believe they are making a healthy choice. They reach for blueberry muffins in the morning, thinking they're starting their day with something nourishing. They pick up blueberry granola bars as a snack, not realizing those bars are mostly sugar and refined grains. They sip blueberry juices, unaware that most of the fiber is gone and the sugar is sky high. Each of these choices erodes the potential of blueberries and in some cases turns them from healers into silent toxins. But here's an important point. The danger doesn't lie in blueberries themselves. It lies in the company they keep. Eat blueberries fresh or pair them with foods that respect their power, and they will deliver some of the most profound health benefits of any fruit. But bury them under layers of sugar and you rob yourself of those benefits. In fact, you may be doing harm. The good news is, once you understand how sugar interferes, you can make simple shifts. You can enjoy blueberries in their pure form, mix them into plain yogurt, scatter them over steel-cut oats, or eat them alongside a handful of nuts. Each of these combinations amplifies their benefits instead of stripping them away. When you think about it, refined sugar is a relatively new player in human history. For most of time, humans didn't have access to concentrated sweetness. We found it in fruits, in honey, or in small natural sources. Our bodies are not designed to handle the massive influx of refined sugar that modern diets provide. Blueberries, on the other hand, are ancient foods, perfectly matched to human biology, perfectly tuned to our needs. But when the modern intruder of refined sugar is combined with them, the natural harmony breaks. What should have been medicine becomes a trap. The second food that undermines the health benefits of blueberries is processed dairy. On the surface, the pairing seems harmless, even comforting. Who hasn't seen bowls of blueberries topped with whipped cream, slices of blueberry cheesecake, or blueberry ice cream on a hot day? The combination is delicious, no doubt, but the biological consequences are not as sweet. Processed dairy, particularly the kind that has been stripped, refined, or loaded with additives, interferes with the very compounds in blueberries that make them such a powerful food for your body. The problem is not with all dairy. Fermented dairy like kefir or natural unsweetened yogurt can actually be beneficial. The problem lies with the processed forms, high-fat creams, artificial yogurts, sweetened milk products, and ice creams, which alter the way your body handles blueberries. ARIs. At the center of this disruption is casein, one of the main proteins in dairy. Casein has the ability to bind with the anthocyanins in blueberries. Remember, anthocyanins are the vibrant, pigments responsible for the fruit's deep blue color, and they are also the powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress. When casein binds to anthocyanins, it forms complexes that are harder for the body to absorb. The result is that fewer anthocyanins reach your bloodstream, and the concentration of antioxidants circulating in your body decreases. This means that instead of protecting your blood vessels, supporting your brain, or improving insulin sensitivity, the benefits of blueberries get locked away. This isn't speculation. Studies have tested what happens when people consume berries along with dairy. In controlled trials, researchers measured antioxidant activity in the blood after participants ate berries with and without dairy. The results showed a clear reduction in antioxidant levels when dairy was included. Essentially, the protective compounds in the berries were blocked. This is important to understand because many people consume blueberries in dairy-heavy desserts or snacks believing they are making a healthy choice. A blueberry parfait layered with sweetened cream or a scoop of blueberry ice cream feels indulgent yet health-conscious. In reality, much of the benefit is lost before your body even has a chance to use it. Now, let's consider what this means on a deeper level. Blueberries are designed to help your blood vessels function better. They trigger the release of nitric oxide, which relaxes your arteries and improves circulation. But if the anthocyanins are trapped and blocked, your arteries don't receive that support. Blueberries are meant to enhance memory and brain performance by crossing the blood-brain barrier and calming inflammation in neurons. But if their compounds are prevented from being absorbed, your brain never gets the help. They are meant to feed your gut microbiome, nurturing healthy bacteria that thrive in polyphenols. But if those polyphenols are bound up with casein, your gut bacteria receive far less of their nourishment. The outcome is simple. The superfood effect vanishes. Processed dairy creates another problem. Many of the commercial dairy products paired with blueberries are loaded with sugar, artificial thickeners, stabilizers, and flavors. This adds another layer of harm. You are not only blocking the good, but you are adding in ingredients that promote inflammation, insulin resistance, and gut imbalance. Think about blueberry-flavored yogurts sold in supermarkets. They are marketed as health foods, but many contain more sugar than soft drinks and use artificial blueberry flavoring with only a trace of actual fruit. The dairy proteins block absorption, the sugar fuels inflammation, and the artificial additives stress your body's detoxification systems. Instead of receiving a therapeutic dose of blueberry power, you're left with a product that is closer to candy than medicine. Another aspect of processed dairy worth considering is its effect on the gut microbiome. While natural fermented dairy can foster beneficial bacteria, processed dairy often does the opposite. It can promote the growth of less favorable bacteria while decreasing diversity in the gut. Since blueberries rely on your microbiome to break down and activate many of their compounds, a weakened gut environment means fewer benefits are unlocked. It's like having a key but no lock to open. The potential is there, but the system isn't functioning. Let's bring this to life with an analogy. Imagine blueberries as a group of skilled engineers, each one carrying tools to repair the infrastructure of your body, your arteries, your brain, your gut. They arrive ready to work, but processed dairy acts like a heavy barrier, chaining their tools and restricting their movement. The engineers are present, but they cannot access the machinery they are supposed to fix. The repairs are delayed and in some cases abandoned altogether. Meanwhile, damage continues to build and you are left with none. Pigments responsible for the fruit's deep blue color, and they are also the powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress. When casein binds to anthocyanins, it forms complexes that are harder for the body to absorb. The result is that fewer anthocyanins reach your bloodstream, and the concentration of antioxidants circulating in your body decreases. This means that instead of protecting your blood vessels, supporting your brain, or improving insulin sensitivity, the benefits of blueberries get locked away. This isn't speculation. Studies have tested what happens when people consume berries along with dairy. In controlled trials, researchers measured antioxidant activity in the blood after participants ate berries with and without dairy. The results showed a clear reduction in antioxidant levels when dairy was included. Essentially, the protective compounds in the berries were blocked. This is important to understand because many people consume blueberries in dairy-heavy desserts or snacks believing they are making a healthy choice. A blueberry parfait layered with sweetened cream or a scoop of blueberry ice cream feels indulgent yet health-conscious. In reality, much of the benefit is lost before your body even has a chance to use it. Now, let's consider what this means on a deeper level. Blueberries are designed to help your blood vessels function better. They trigger the release of nitric oxide, which relaxes your arteries and improves circulation. But if the anthocyanins are trapped and blocked, your arteries don't receive that support. Blueberries are meant to enhance memory and brain performance by crossing the blood-brain barrier and calming inflammation in neurons. But if their compounds are prevented from being absorbed, your brain never gets the help. They are meant to feed your gut microbiome, nurturing healthy bacteria that thrive in polyphenols. But if those polyphenols are bound up with casein, your gut bacteria receive far less of their nourishment. The outcome is simple. The superfood effect vanishes. Processed dairy creates another problem. Many of the commercial dairy products paired with blueberries are loaded with sugar, artificial thickeners, stabilizers, and flavors. This adds another layer of harm. You are not only blocking the good, but you are adding in ingredients that promote inflammation, insulin resistance, and gut imbalance. Think about blueberry-flavored yogurts sold in supermarkets. They are marketed as health foods, but many contain more sugar than soft drinks and use artificial blueberry flavoring with only a trace of actual fruit. The dairy proteins block absorption, the sugar fuels inflammation, and the artificial additives stress your body's detoxification systems. Instead of receiving a therapeutic dose of blueberry power, you're left with a product that is closer to candy than medicine. Another aspect of processed dairy worth considering is its effect on the gut microbiome. While natural fermented dairy can foster beneficial bacteria, processed dairy often does the opposite. It can promote the growth of less favorable bacteria while decreasing diversity in the gut. Since blueberries rely on your microbiome to break down and activate many of their compounds, a weakened gut environment means fewer benefits are unlocked. It's like having a key but no lock to open. The potential is there, but the system isn't functioning. Let's bring this to life with an analogy. Imagine blueberries as a group of skilled engineers, each one carrying tools to repair the infrastructure of your body, your arteries, your brain, your gut. They arrive ready to work, but processed dairy acts like a heavy barrier, chaining their tools and restricting their movement. The engineers are present, but they cannot access the machinery they are supposed to fix. The repairs are delayed and in some cases abandoned altogether. Meanwhile, damage continues to build and you are left with none of the intended improvements. The real-world impact of this is significant. Consider someone who eats blueberries every morning with a generous swirl of whipped cream, believing it is a harmless indulgence. They expect to reap the heart, brain, and gut benefits of blueberries, but day after day, their body is denied the protective compounds. Over time, their blood pressure may creep upward, their cognitive sharpness may dull, and their gut health may decline, despite the effort to eat what they believe is a superfood. Another person may choose blueberry ice cream nightly as a healthier dessert option, but what they are really consuming is a combination of sugar, fat, dairy proteins, and additives that mute the benefits of blueberries and amplify the risks of weight gain, diabetes, and heart disease. There's also the psychological side to consider. When people believe they are making healthy choices but are not, it creates a false sense of security. They may believe they are protecting their health while quietly fueling the very conditions they are trying to avoid. This is why understanding food combinations matters so deeply. It's not just what you eat, it's what you eat with it that can determine the outcome. The good news is that you don't have to give up combining blueberries with creamy textures if that's what you enjoy. You simply need to choose the right kinds of pairings. Instead of processed whipped cream, try pairing blueberries with unsweetened coconut cream or a handful of nuts. Instead of commercial blueberry yogurt, opt for plain Greek yogurt or kefir and add your own fresh blueberries. In these cases, the probiotics in fermented dairy actually support the gut microbiome, and the fat helps your body absorb the anthocyanins more efficiently. The key is to avoid the highly processed dairy products that strip away nutrition and introduce harmful additives. In short, blueberries are one of nature's most effective medicines, but their benefits are fragile when confronted with processed dairy. By understanding how casein binds to anthocyanins, how additives dilute their power, and how sugar-loaded dairy products cancel their protective effects, you can make smarter choices. The goal is to let blueberries do what they do best: protect, repair, and enhance your body's health, without letting processed dairy stand in their way. The third and final food that can quietly sabotage the healing power of blueberries is artificial sweeteners. For decades, these substances have been marketed as healthier alternatives to sugar, a way to enjoy sweetness without the calories. They show up everywhere in diet sodas, sugar-free yogurts, flavored waters, protein shakes, and even in foods that appear healthy like blueberry smoothies or oatmeal topped with a sprinkle of artificial sweetener. On the surface, it feels like a smart trade. You're cutting out sugar, keeping your calorie count low, and still enjoying the sweet taste. But inside your body, the story is very different. Artificial sweeteners don't just sit there harmlessly. They alter your biology in ways that can completely counteract the protective benefits of blueberries. Let's start with the gut microbiome. Blueberries are one of the best foods on earth for nurturing a thriving gut ecosystem. Their fiber and polyphenols feed beneficial bacteria, encouraging species that lower inflammation, protect the gut lining, and generate short-chain fatty acids that improve metabolism. But artificial sweeteners disrupt this balance. Studies have shown that compounds like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin interfere with the gut microbiota, reducing diversity and promoting the growth of less favorable bacterial strains. This disruption, known as dysbiosis, is linked to a long list of problems: obesity, insulin resistance, leaky gut, weakened immunity, and even mood disorders. So while blueberries are working hard to build a strong, balanced microbiome, artificial sweeteners are quietly dismantling that foundation. It's like planting a flourishing garden of beneficial bacteria and then dumping chemicals into the soil that poison the roots. But the effects go further. Artificial sweeteners have been found to alter glucose metabolism, even though they contain no actual sugar. Researchers discovered that people who consume artificial sweeteners regularly can develop glucose intolerance, the very condition blueberries are proven to improve. In fact, one of the most remarkable benefits of blueberries is their ability to increase insulin sensitivity, helping muscles take in glucose more efficiently and lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes. Yet, when artificial sweeteners are consumed at the same time, they disrupt the body's response to glucose and interfere with this protective mechanism. The end result is that instead of supporting metabolic health, the blueberry sweetener combination pushes the body in the opposite direction. Artificial sweeteners also confuse the body's natural feedback systems. Normally, when you eat something sweet, your brain expects a certain number of calories to follow. This is an ancient survival mechanism. Sweetness signals energy. But artificial sweeteners provide sweetness without calories, tricking the brain and disrupting the body's ability to regulate hunger. This mismatch has been shown to increase cravings for high-calorie foods later in the day. Blueberries, with their natural balance of fiber, polyphenols, and gentle sweetness, are designed to satisfy without spiking appetite. But when paired with artificial sweeteners, the signal gets scrambled. The result can be overeating, weight gain, and metabolic stress. There's another subtle but important consequence. Blueberries are powerful antioxidants designed to reduce oxidative stress and neutralize free radicals. But artificial sweeteners themselves may contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation. Some studies suggest that they can alter pathways in the liver and kidneys, generating reactive oxygen species that damage cells. When this happens, blueberries are put into a losing battle. They enter the body with their army of antioxidants, but they immediately encounter a wave of toxins generated by artificial chemicals. Instead of lowering inflammation, the net effect may be neutral or even harmful if the burden of toxins outweighs the benefits of the fruit. Now think about how many people consume blueberries with artificial sweeteners believing they are making the right choice. A morning bowl of oatmeal sweetened with sucralose and topped with blueberries, a blueberry smoothie blended with sugar-free vanilla protein powder, a glass of sparkling water flavored with blueberry essence and sweetened with aspartame. In each of these cases, the artificial sweetener undermines the blueberries, undoing their work and sometimes reversing it. What looks like a health habit is actually a metabolic trap. The psychological side is equally dangerous. Artificial sweeteners create a false sense of security. People believe they are avoiding the dangers of sugar, so they feel justified in consuming more sweet foods overall. But their bodies are not fooled. The disruption in the